Hey guys, it's Brittany and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing 3 easy dump and go slow cooker recipes. I have really been leaning on my slow cooker a lot recently because I'm really trying to cut back on time spent in the kitchen. And don't get me wrong, like my YouTube channel is a cooking channel and I love cooking, but work is so busy, and so any time that I can cut out of my schedule is so helpful for me. And I love that slow cookers, you can just put the food in the crock pot and then by the time you finish work, dinner is done. It's done all the work for you. And it's just the best when you can log off of work, get home and have your food ready for you and not even have to stress about being in the kitchen a long time. Today, I'm gonna be sharing 3 of my favorite slow cooker recipes. They're foolproof. I've made them multiple times. They're like my favorite. So I'm excited to share that with you all. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Brittany and on my channel you'll find cooking and grocery haul videos. So if those are things that you like, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that like button on this video. It is so helpful for my channel. And also if you enjoy what you see today, I hope you'll subscribe and consider sticking around and joining my YouTube family. The first recipe I'm going to be sharing today is an easy veggie soup recipe. I love this recipe honestly for all times of year. It's perfect for winter, of course, because it's a soup, but honestly, it's a lighter soup. So spring and summer months, this is like the perfect soup recipe to pull out just because it's a little on the lighter side. So I'm first going to show you my ingredients. I'm going to give the caveat that this soup is very flexible in that you can really use whatever ingredients you have on hand. And I'll kind of explain the things that you can swap in and out of this recipe to really make it your own. So let me take you over to the counter and I'll show you all the ingredients we're working with today. For the base of your soup, you're going to need some sort of broth or stock. You can literally use whatever you want. Whenever I do veggie soup, I tend to lean towards beef stock just because it has a nice rich flavor. However, in the past I have used vegetable stock, and if you want to make this recipe a true vegetarian recipe, you can of course use a vegetable stock. You also can honestly use chicken stock too. And then what makes this recipe a dump and go recipe is that you don't have to brown any beef ahead of time. When I grew up, my mom always used ground beef in her vegetable soup, but at some point in my adult life, I just was like, I want to make vegetable soup, and I happened to not have ground beef on hand, and so I just opted to not, use a protein. And I found that I actually liked the flavor of the vegetable soup so much more. And I think it was just, it's a lot more, I guess, like a pure vegetable soup. You really can get all the flavors of the seasonings and the veggies without having the ground beef interfere. So honestly, I say 9 times out of 10 when I'm making vegetable soup, I don't have a protein in it anymore. That's just my preference. Also, I like to add some tomato products. So I like to add a can of diced tomatoes. These are just regular diced tomatoes, but in the past I have used the Italian diced tomatoes as well with the extra seasonings. I like to add a can of tomato sauce just to give it a little more of a tomato flavor. Of course, you can also not use tomato sauce. Again, this is one of those recipes that you really can just make it your own, and it's a nice recipe to have on standby too. Just, using up pantry staple items that you have on hand. So use what you have, but this is just the way I like to make mine. And then these are the seasonings. They always kind of go into my veggie soup. I will say that, guys, I am like not great at measuring things. Like I just kind of add what I think is the right amount. I kind of eyeball things, but because I love you guys, and also because I'm lazy, look, I wrote down the measurements on a napkin. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you like screenshot this and save it for your records. I'll put the measurements down in the description box for you guys. But yeah, I did go ahead and do measurements for you guys just so you have them. But usually I kind of just like throw in what I think is right. So we're going to do Italian seasoning, bay leaves. I'm going to use 1 bay leaf, garlic powder, and onion powder. And then this is optional, but I like to add like a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Gives it a really nice little kick. Not too crazy, because this isn't like a spicy Mexican soup or anything like that, but it just adds a little kick that I enjoy. And then of course you're gonna need mixed vegetables. These I like to add usually like 1 or 2 hours out from when I'm serving. I don't like them to sit in the crock pot all day just because I think they get a little soggy and I don't like them to be too soft. Lastly, this is completely optional, but I have found that when I'm making veggie soup, since there's not a protein in it usually, sometimes it's not as filling as if you have like chicken or ground beef in it. So I've started to add a pasta of some sort, and I really like adding raviolis because they just kind of bulk up your soup. They make it a lot more filling, and I almost always have some sort of Trader Joe's raviolis in my freezer. These I bought, the pumpkin ones I bought, I think around like the fall, so like October, and they've just been sitting in my freezer and I need to use them up. So I'm going to throw them in the soup today. I have not tried the pumpkin raviolis in my soup before, so hopefully it tastes okay. Usually I love putting the Trader Joe's butternut squash raviolis in my veggie soup. It's such a good combo. So I will let you guys know how that is, but alternatively, if you don't have a Trader Joe's around you, also tortellini or cheese ravioli would be amazing in veggie soup. So that's what we're working with today. So I'm going to go ahead and throw all of this together. One thing I did want to mention as far as timing goes is you really don't need a ton of time to make this soup. Well, wait, correction. You don't need to cook this soup for a long time. Honestly, usually with my veggie soup, I cook it for like 3 to 4 hours. I just want to allow enough time for the flavors to really meld together and infuse throughout this soup. Since we're not really worrying about cooking like a raw protein or anything like that, you don't need to put it on super early. Of course, if you're going into an office setting and you want to put your soup on early in the morning before you go to work, that is totally fine. Really, whatever is convenient for you. For me, I work from home currently, and I can just throw my soup on during my lunch break, which is what I'm doing today. Also, I'm gonna put like the broth and the seasonings in the slow cooker right now, but closer to dinner time is when I'm gonna put the veggies and the raviolis in, because the raviolis, I don't want them to get like too cooked because then all the filling's gonna kind of, you know, come out of them. So we don't want that to happen. So I will show you guys me adding that later, and just know in the description, I will let you guys know the timing exactly of when I'm putting ingredients in.
I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes. I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down, and it's not a lie that I die. I can't hide what this is. Yeah, I keep drowning in those blue eyes, and you can tell me all of your lies.
Just put the ravioli in the soup. It's about 6:30, so I'm gonna let them sit in there for probably like 30-ish minutes, and let them just soften up and cook through all the way. They were still a little bit frozen, so I'll let you guys know at the end if they were cooked through all the way. I think honestly, it's just gonna need 30 minutes because normally with these, you literally just throw them in water for like 2.5 to 3 minutes if they're completely thawed out. So we should be fine there. I wanted to quickly share this. I'm obsessed with these biscuits. They are called Mary B's Buttermilk biscuits. I got them at Walmart, and they're frozen. So what's nice about them is I keep them in my fridge and then I just pull them out as I need them. This is like a lot, 30 biscuits, and they keep in the freezer really well for a while. And this is what they look like. They're really flat, but they like definitely puff up in the oven, and they're just so convenient, but they literally taste like a homemade biscuit. So I highly recommend look out for them. I know they have them at Walmart, so keep an eye out there. I'm sure they carry them at other grocery stores too, but I love this brand.
I will put out all of the fire if it gets too dark. I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. will put out all of the fire if it gets too dark. I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light.
They need sour cream, cheese, and seasoning.
Well, when you put this Mississippi roast on top of them, it's got an entire stick of butter in it.
Not enough.
You're not going to need anything else.
Not enough.
I'm making your plate first.
Thanks, babe. Such a good housewife.
Don't you dare.
Are you filming me right now?
I'm filming, but I'm not filming you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's hot.
Of course it's a freaking Crockpot. I was gonna eat one green beans.
I burned my face. I'm calling out of work. All week.
I will put out all of the fire if it gets too dark. I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, yeah, I can carry all that you've got. Two heavy hearts is not a lot. I will put out all of the fire. We stumble and fall, and it's not a lie that I die. I can hide what this is. Yeah, I keep drowning in those blue eyes, and you can tell me all of your lies. I will put out all of the fire if it gets too dark. I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I am running for you. I am running for you.
Currently editing this video and I realized I never did an outro. So I figured I'd officially wrap this video up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope these recipes provided you with some inspiration and motivation to pull out your crock pot and get cooking. These recipes are truly so easy and they're such a lifesaver on busy nights. If you enjoyed this video, I would really greatly appreciate it if you give it a like and a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out so much. And if you enjoyed, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and joining me in the future for more cooking and grocery hauls. Until next time, guys. Bye.
I am running for you.